Hey everybody, I wanted to put together this little video here. It's kind of a huge shout out to Ruger, because thanks, you guys are awesome. About 4 months ago, October 2016 it was, Ruger had a video contest that they put together where you would put together a video of your tricked out Ruger 1022 explaining what you did and why and all that stuff. And if you sent them the link, then they entered you in this contest. Grand prize was a trip for two to their factory in Newport, New Hampshire. First prize was 1022 Takedown Lite. Second prize was a Ruger prize pack with like hats and cases and cool stuff like that. And so I put together a video of my M1 carbine clone right here. Ruger liked it enough to give me a 1022 Takedown Lite. So I've been wanting one of these since they first came out, the takedowns, since I first saw them. One of the things I first noticed though is that this doesn't have the same case as the originals did. The originals, they came in this backpack type case, which I thought was a really neat case. And I was a little leery of the new one because you see it all the time where companies will change an accessory like this to go with something that's cheaper and just save money on their end. And they didn't do that in this case. This is just as good of a case, just in a different way. The only drawback to the original was that if you put a big enough scope on there, or you could easily put too big of a scope on there, to fit in the case. Whereas this one, well, it's not the problem. It's also a very nondescript looking case, which I like about that, because some of us don't exactly have trunks to put or stash our rifle in while we're on the way to the range. So nondescript case here in California kind of goes a long way. Yes, it does have the Ruger logo on there, but Velcro comes right off real easy. And I'm probably going to relocate that patch somewhere in this vest. I haven't quite decided where yet. Opening the case. On one side, two padded wings here, flip out of the way. Three large pockets here. You can put ammo, put your eye protection in there if you wanted to. You can put pretty much anything you wanted in those pockets, spare parts even, that sort of thing. So that's neat. But the neatest feature about this on the other side, where you see I've got the rifle here, this is all Velcro in here. So I can reconfigure this really easy. So if I put a bigger optic on there, I can move this around, I can shift and change. Yeah, it looks like it's all tight in there, but that's because there is an extra butt piece for the stock. That doesn't have to be in there. I can take that out and give me some room to work with. This is the one with no comb, or excuse me, low comb on it. If I was using iron sights, that'd be the way to go, but I'm not using iron sights. So, first thing I'll show you here, get the barrel out. So, this is where the light part of the name comes from. This is an aluminum tension barrel. It's a bull barrel. It's 0.92 inch diameter, just like the heavy bull barrel, but being that it's aluminum sleeve over a steel core, basically, that's what makes it light relative to the heavy barrel. So if you were comparing this to the standard barrel on the original Takedown, you'd find this is actually about an ounce heavier. So the way it's put together though, you can see on the breech end here, that's about the diameter of the inner barrel all the way through it. It's a little over a ½ inch, I guess, just by the calibrated eyeball here. And then there's an aluminum sleeve over top. It's got vents in the front here to aid in cooling. Then there's a nut on the front here. It's been factory torqued in place to hold the aluminum sleeve on there. And then on the front is a thread protector and some 1/2 by 28 threads underneath for your suppressor or muzzle brake or whatever you want to put on there. Personally, I think I'm going to be putting a muzzle brake on there. But then again, I don't know, the new Ruger suppressor looks pretty darn cool too, so who knows, maybe I'll get that as well. Sling, this is my own sling. It's an Uncle Mike's that I've had for, I don't know, 20 years or something now. I've had it darn near forever. Stole it off another rifle just to add something. The stud, though, this does come with. So you do not have to get studs or have it drilled and tapped or anything like that to accommodate your studs, which is really neat. Putting the barrel back in here. right way. Get that out of the way here. Moving to the back part of the rifle here. So this is Ruger's new modular stock. They're using this stock set on a lot of their other products as well. So what's cool about it is that the swivel stud back here does double duty. One, it's for your sling, but if you use your sling swivel, geez, say that 10 times fast, you can use it kind of like a wrench to get that first quarter turn, and then the stud comes out, your back piece comes off, and hey, there you go. You can swap it with that one with a low comb. They've also got some available with a shorter length of pull, for kids or whatever. Neat thing I noticed right away though, inside both of these are some fairly large cavities, especially on this end over here, with the rifle end of it. And since I'm going to be replacing my Henry U.S. survival rifle with this now, that's going to get packed full of some survival goodies, probably a first aid kit I could fit in there, but you could easily fit extra ammo in there if you're not into that survival sort of thing, bug out gear. You could put a cleaning kit in there just as easy if you wanted as well. I've actually got a spare battery for my sight in there and a penny taped to the inside. The sight that I'm using takes a coin to make adjustments, so I figured sticking a penny in there would be a good idea just in case I needed to make an adjustment at the range and forgot. Putting it back in was pretty easy too. Just push it in like I did, get the stud started by hand, and when it gets tight, you're probably about 90 degrees short of tightening it down, so you just use your sling swivel here to get that last 90 degrees worth and everything straight. You're all good to go. You don't have to worry about stripping it either. There's actually a steel nut hiding up inside that butt piece. So good thinking on Ruger's part there, rather than just trying to thread in the plastic. They really made this stock really durable. It's a really neat setup. The sight that I picked is a Bushnell TRS 25. I wanted to keep weight down since this is, in addition to being a plinker, it's going to be my survival rifle as well, so I didn't want to be lugging around a big heavy scope. Plus scopes don't work well at night. I know you can't go hunting at night, but in a survival scenario, if it's been 2-3 days and you're out in the woods, do you really care? I mean, I'm not advocating breaking the law or nothing, but if you just saw a squirrel, it's the first thing that, living thing you've seen that you can shoot in a few days and you're starving, you're not going to worry about the law so much in that case, I don't think. And this Bushnell here, there's no magnification, so you can just look right through it, and even in no light, or if there's just enough light to see your target, then there's enough light to use this sight, unlike a scope where it's pretty much got to be daytime. Now, yes, this does require a small battery. It's a CR2032 or something like that, little coin cell, which, as I mentioned, I've got a spare taped up in here, and according to the manual on this thing, it's got like an 800-hour run time on high, which high is way too bright for anything I've ever had to do, unless you're like, I don't know. I couldn't even think of what the high setting on is needed, somewhere in the middle, so probably even longer than 800 hours, so you don't have to worry so much about the battery going dead. Anyway, moving on. The barrel is actually really easy to attach, unlike my Henry, where it takes a bit of a operation to get it on there. And before I drop this thing, let's move that out of the way and I'll show you. So, insert the breech into there, push it in, 1/8 of a turn, slap the magazine in there, close the bolt, you're ready to go. Taking it off, just as easy. Lock the bolt to the rear. There's a lever on the front here. You pull that forward, twist it 1/8 of a turn, you're good to go. First time you do this, there's a bit of a setup to it to make sure that the barrel is going to be tight. The instructions are real clear, and it's just this little knurled nut right in here. You loosen it, you put the barrel on, you tighten it, take the barrel off, a couple more clicks, and you're good to go. You'll take it on and off a few times until you find that sweet spot, you know, where it's just a little resistance when you're putting it on there. That makes sure it's tight and that you don't lose zero with your optic being on the receiver here. So clever design, works really well. I've not noticed zero drifting on me at all, even after taking it on and off several times. So I do have a list of things that I'm going to be modifying. Hey, this is really cool the way this comes. I really do like it, but it's a 1022. It begs to be modified. And I'll put together another video when it's done to show you everything that I've done and why. Just, you know, it's kind of a fun thing putting these videos together. So, first thing that I'm going to do is going to be the stock. Even though I like this stock, I'm going to get the Magpul Hunter X22 stock. Because it does add a few features, it's got some more adjustability going on, but it's also got the M-lock slots on it, so I can attach a few things that I wanted to. Not going to go real crazy, but the angled foregrip, I kind of like that. So that'll be one of the things I'll get. And I don't know, maybe some rail attached lights, who knows. I'll probably also do a BX trigger, do that next. A few other internals. I'll put a muzzle brake on it too. I kind of like muzzle brakes. So, you know, the Kid Innovative Designs muzzle brake is a really nice one, and it just screws right on. So, yeah, that's about all I can think of for it at the moment. I don't know. I haven't quite decided. I've only had this one a few days, so. You know, I've got some time to decide what goodies I'm going to put on it and what theme I'm going to go for, because, you know, I can't just bolt stuff to the rifle and call that the only accessories. You know, I got to have other accessories to go with it too that may not necessarily be bolt-on. So, you know, got to have a theme in that case. Yeah. So, you know, if you got a tricked out 1022, like the Ruger Facebook page. They'll tell you when they've got another video coming out. They did 3 of them last year. The one on the build, they did a plinking video, and they did, I think it was a gifting video or something like that. And it was the same price in all of them. So, I mean, this MSRP on this rifle is $659, so it's not a cheap rifle. Especially as 1022s go, it's definitely on the higher end. An all expenses paid vacation for 2 to see the factory, that's definitely not cheap. So, you know, it's worth entering. I mean, okay, worst case you don't win, whatever. You know, at least you say you tried, and who knows, maybe you'll win something. So I don't know, until I get all those other accessories and can do the next video. Have fun on the range, and hey, who knows, if you're in California, you see a bike run around looks like me, give me a wave. I'll wave back to you.